How many rental properties would it take to walk into your boss's office tomorrow and quit your 9 to 5? 1, 10, 100? Today I'm going to show you the real math behind rental cash flow and reveal 2 strategies investors use to replace their 9 to 5 income entirely. And you'll want to stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal my favorite. Now let's dive in. For those new here, welcome. I'm Joe, and at Dividends Indoors, we're building a community of people who want to replace their 9 to 5 income with rental cash flow and dividends. All right, so the first step in this process is to find what your freedom number is. How much passive income do you need coming in each month to pay off all of your bills? And that number is different for everyone. Once you hit that number, you won't need to work. You can spend more time with your family, travel, go live alone in Costa Rica and join a surf club. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do that with passive income, and I'm here to help you. Right now, my monthly freedom number is $10,000 per month. If I can reach $10,000 per month in passive income, I believe that's enough to cover all of my expenses and more. So that's the goal, and we're tracking that on the thumbnails of each video. You'll see a number out of 10,000. Right now, we're at 400, 300 from my single family rental, and 100 from dividends. And we're gonna grow that thing tremendously, so stick along for the journey. So now I'm gonna introduce 2 strategies you can use to retire completely off of rental cash flow from your rental properties. The first strategy is accumulating as many rentals as it takes and then using that cash flow to fund your lifestyle and to pay your bills. For this example, we'll stick with that same $10,000 per month in passive income. We'll say that each unit that you own averages $300 per month in positive cash flow after all expenses have been paid for. And I'll also acknowledge that in today's interest rate environment and where housing prices are at today, it's very difficult to find anything that cash flows. But for this example, let's use 300. And just a quick note, when I say units, that is the amount of doors that you have on that property, whether that's a duplex, triplex, fourplex, you get the point. So how many units would it take to reach our monthly cash flow number of 10,000? The answer might surprise you. The answer is 34 units. You would need 34 units averaging 300 per unit in cash flow to get to your $10,000 goal. Now, even if your cash flow on each unit was $1,000 per month, which is actually unheard of today, you would still need 10 units to reach your $10,000 per month in passive income. That's still 10 different tenants that you have to deal with. For a lot of people, and myself included, the idea of owning 10, 20, 30 units is stressful. It's not appealing to me. It sounds like a headache, and it sounds like it's too much management. It's too much hands-on. I want my investments to be more passive. And I believe that there's a better way. I'm going to share that with you right now. So that strategy is paying off your rentals early. And no, this video is not sponsored by Papa Dave Ramsey. Shout out Papa Dave. But if this was his advice, we would not be owning rental properties that we didn't pay for in cash. Good luck paying $300,000 for a cash rental property. I can't do that today. I don't think anyone out there can, but we still love you, Dave, even though we don't agree with all of your advice. And I can hear the trolls right now. They're saying, it's impossible to pay off a rental property. Nobody can do that in this economy. In this economy, I'm here to tell you that people are paying off their primary homes and their rental properties early all the time, and you can do it too. How this strategy works is you buy less properties and pay it off faster, so that way you can quit your 9 to 5 early with that rental passive income. So for this example, let's say you purchase 2 homes for $300,000 each, and each rental property rents for $2,500 per month. So after making your 20% down payment, you're left with a $240,000 loan. Let's say it's at 6% with today's interest rates. If you make a $1,200 per month payment just towards the principal, you can pay that loan down in 10 years and have a fully paid off rental property spitting off cash flow. Because the federal government prints money, your $2,500 per month that you were charging in rent has now went up to $4,000 per month. And your asset is completely paid off at this point. Now, how fast could you take that extra $4,000 per month in cash flow and pay down the rest of your other property? Now, yes, there are expenses. We're going to keep it simple, but I think pretty fast. And when both of those are paid off, that's spitting out about $8,000 per month, $96,000 per year. And yes, there are some expenses that go with it. We're keeping it simple. But what would you need to do to fill that gap with $2,000 to get to our $10,000 per month goal? Could you buy stocks and have those stocks spit off $2,000 per month? That's when it gets very interesting, and that is the strategy that I plan to use. Imagine the peace of mind and the freedom that you would have if you had 2 fully paid off rental properties. This is not a pipe dream. This is a reality for a lot of people, and I'm here to tell you that this strategy works. This is exactly the strategy that I'm currently pursuing, and I'm about to show you the principal on my mortgage and how far I've paid it off. And when I do this, this is not me bragging. This is not me saying, look at me. This is hopefully inspiring you to pick the winning strategy, what I believe is the best strategy to generate passive income. So let's take a look here. This is a home I purchased back in early 2022 for $348,000 in Florida. This is a home that I lived in for about 1.5 years, and then I turned it into a rental property. And yes, I know you're looking at that interest rate. I got in right before rates shot up. I was very fortunate. And I also know that you're probably looking at that remaining balance saying to yourself, why the heck did you pay off a 2.99% interest rate early? Because I did make significant principal payments to this. And I will tell you that one of my goals is to pay this off early. I'm 26 years old right now, and if I don't make a single extra dollar payment towards my principal, and I only pay my regular mortgage payment, this will be paid off in 14 years by the time I'm 40 years old. And that really excites me. And once it's paid off by 40, or if I want to pay it off earlier, can I pay off the next rental even faster? That's the game that I want to play. And I fully realize that there are people out there screaming at their tablets or smartphones or laptops saying, why in the world would you pay off a 2.99% interest rate early? You can make more in the stock market. I fully understand it. But for me, the idea of retiring early and having that rental be paid off by the time I'm 40 or earlier as a 26-year-old, that really excites me. And I can then roll that extra cash flow into the stock market and get paid dividends, or I can roll it into the next rental property and get paid even more cash flow. That's the game I want to play. This is a way, it's not the only way, but this is the way that I want to pursue. So the bottom line is, with these 2 strategies, you can either chase 20, 30 rental properties and use that little bit of cash flow, if you even get cash flow in today's market, to fund your lifestyle. It takes a lot more work, it's a lot more stressful, and there's a lot more risk. Or you can be a small investor, purchase 2 to 3 to 4 properties, and that's it. Pay them off, use that rental cash flow to fund your lifestyle and live the life of your dreams. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it with dividends and doors. And that's a strategy that I would pick. That's a strategy that I'm pursuing. I'm passionate about this. I love talking about this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like this video, please consider liking or subscribing to the channel. We're going to have way more videos, and we're building a community 1 video at a time. Thank you all so much. I'm out.